Feasting from 47. And we have a young man, very impressive young man, who not only has a great recipe, but does a great job of showing you how to put it together. And I think you're going to be amazed when you find out just how young this young man is. Then we're going to be talking about a survey. Many of you will soon be participating in a survey. It is about law enforcement. A lot of questions about how you feel law enforcement can be better. Your thoughts. We're going to kind of get a preview tonight from three very special guests, and we will open up the phone lines in case you have any questions or comments that you would like to make about that particular survey. But as we said, this, of course, is Feasting from 47 Day. So let's get to that right now. Hi, welcome in to Feasting from 47, and of course it's brought to you by Whirlpool, your good friends and neighbors at the Findlay Division, making great quality products. We have a very special guest today. I want to welcome in Tim Fowler. Now, Tim is with the Millstream Career Cooperative. Tim, how are you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing well. Tim, I asked you before we went on the air if you were a junior. You're not.
No, I'm a sophomore.
You are a sophomore, and obviously you are interested in the culinary arts.
Yes, after I graduate, I want to go to a culinary school and continue on as a chef.
Great.
Professional chef.
You're off to a great start here. Let's talk, I know that you are very actively involved with HERO.
Yes, it's FHA HERO is the full name of the organization, but the part or section that we are in is HERO, which is Home Economics Related Occupations. And that is for the vocational side of this. It's a home economics class, but it's a vocational class in that we spend 5 periods a day there.
Mm-hmm.
I am district president for all of Millstream District, and I am the president of the Findlay Executive Council chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a culinary team, and that's actually how this recipe came to be. They sent us packets from years ago of recipes that they've gone and done over the years through competitions, and this recipe happened to be one of the recipes in that packet.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we tried it out for practice, and we liked it so much that thought you asked me to be on, and thought we'd do it.
Let's start with the recipe, and as we make our way through, I want to talk more about your goals, what you're doing now, and of course the culinary team. The name of this recipe is?
Chicken Sauté Supreme.
All right. Where do we start?
All right. First of all, I've got my chicken already made up, but you're going to want a pound of boneless, skinless chicken, and you're going to want to sauté it. Now, if you want to save yourself a little money, about $2 a pound actually, you can buy it with the bones and the skin on, and then bone it and skin it yourself. And then you're going to cut it into small strips and sauté it until it's done. And you're going to do that in about a teaspoon of oil.
A teaspoon of oil.
Not a lot.
Okay.
And you're going to want to season it with a little pepper, a little bit of salt, give it a little added flavor.
Okay.
And mix that on up. And once that's done, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
And you're going to melt it in a pot.
All right.
And turn on your front burner to medium-high.
Okay.
And once that melts, you're going to take vegetables. Now, when you get your vegetables, you're going to have a quarter of a green pepper chopped up. You're going to want only half of a celery stalk chopped up, and half of an onion in medium dice.
Okay, medium.
And you're going to want 4 ounces of mushrooms. Now, when you chop up the mushrooms, you can do it by hand, and you get a very nice thin slice. And you can see right there that it's very thin, and that's the way you want it, so it cooks a little faster. But another way you can do it, a little easier, is you can use an egg slicer. An egg slicer, the slices are a little thicker, but it saves you some time and a little bit of energy. And if you're in a hurry, it's good. The slices are thicker, but they're all uniform size there. And it's fairly easy to use. It's just press down and you're done.
You've already saved us some money on the chicken. Now you're saving us a little time here. That's good.
All right. Once I get this mushroom all sliced up here.
I want to remind people, too, that as Tim makes his way through here, if you miss an ingredient or the quantity of an ingredient, don't worry about it at all, because recipes, as usual, available at Great Scott. They provide all the food. 37, our good friends at Ohio Power on East Lincoln Street in Findlay. And, of course, that's where we do all our taping. And the recipe's also available at TV 47. Okay, how's that butter coming?
All right, you can hear it melting right now. It's sizzling and bubbling up, and that's where you want it.
All right.
And you're going to add, it doesn't matter what you add first, you're just going to add your vegetables in. And make sure that they don't burn. You want to stir them up and the butter doesn't burn, because butter burns fairly quickly. And you just dump them all in here.
The onions and then the mushrooms.
And you want to turn up the heat pretty high now, because you don't want to cook it very long, but you want it to be browned.
Okay.
So when it's browned, you'll know that it's done, because the onions and the celery will start to get a little transparent. You can see through them a little bit. And the mushrooms will be brown not only in the edges, but a little bit in the center too.
Okay.
And the full cooking time, really, that you want to saute it is 3 to 5 minutes at the most. A little less is better if you like the crispy vegetables in your chicken, and if you like it a little less crisp, a little limp there, then you can cook it a little longer. I'm gonna let this cook for a minute.
You're talking about the culinary team at Millstream Career Club. How many are on the team?
Actually, there's three on the team. There's myself, another boy, and a girl. And the competition is in the beginning of March.
Okay.
And we're going to go to a regional rally, and they have several different competitions you can compete in, like dining room service, which is bussing tables, the culinary event, there's a pastry arts event, and we have a student in our class who is going to another, which is garde manger, which is a whole tray of garnishes. All right, this is starting to look like it's getting done here. A couple more minutes. And as you can see, the onions here are starting to get a little transparent around the edges. There'll be more towards the inside when you're done. All right. Now, you don't really need a pot this big. I'm just using it because I like to have a little room to stir around and not have everything fall out over the edge. I seem to have that problem sometimes. All right. That's a nice smell.
Oh, that is. Delightful.
All right. The culinary team, basically what it is we go there and they give us a set of recipes. We won't know anything about the recipes ahead of time. They're gonna give them to us. We'll have 15 minutes to plan who does what, and make a market list and go into their pantry and get all of our ingredients out. And after the 15 minutes are over, we have 75 minutes to cook. So we have to plan our time pretty well in that 15 minutes.
Sure do.
We have 75 minutes to cook, and that includes putting it on a dish, serving it, and there's 3 servings for each of the judges, and we have to clean up in that time too. So that's...
This is everything, start to finish.
Yes.
And you have no idea going in what you are going to have to prepare.
No idea. No idea. All
Where
right.
will the first competition be? Will that be in Fremont or?
I think so. That's I do believe. Now, as you can see, the mushrooms are starting to get brown on the center, and that's what you're looking for. The edges are a little brown right around the edges, but the center is getting brown, and that's because it's cooking a little more. I'd say these vegetables are done, so I'm going to turn the heat off right now, and I'm going to add my vegetables and all of the butter, or melted butter, into my chicken so that the flavors mingle a little bit. And I'll use my little scraper here to get that out. Oh, drop that. Oops. All right. It's all right. Okay, you don't need to get all of it out. Most of it's fine. Okay. All right. Now, you're going to put this on a different burner so it doesn't heat up. Now, you're going to want to prepare 4.5 teaspoons of butter and 4.5 teaspoons of flour. And when you and it's not by weight equal, but a roux is what this is, and a roux is equal portions of fat and flour by weight. And when you add them together, it's a powerful thickening agent. This is similar to a French roux because a French roux is butter only instead of any other fat. So you're going to melt your butter, put it back on the burner, and turn it on low because this is you don't want the butter to burn in this one. This is very important that the butter does not burn. All right, and then once that begins to melt, as soon as that's melted, you're going to want to add the flour. So stir that up into little portions here so it melts quicker. All right, and the butter's melted, so I'm going to add my flour and stir that up very quickly. Get that all together, and as soon as it's all mixed up, you're going to want to add half of a cup to 1 cup of chicken stock, depending on how runny you want your sauce to be. I've got that right here.
Now, what do you have there, Tim? Is that a
chicken stock?
But is that
that's a full cup.
Full cup. Okay.
And you can use half a cup, but I'm using a full cup for a slightly thinner sauce. And pour that on in there and stir very well. When you stir this up, it's going to get very thick very quickly, but you want to turn the heat up so that it cooks faster.
Okay. So start on low and then gradually build up.
Right, but once you get the stock in, you're going to want to have it on a high heat so it thickens quickly. The cooking time will be shorter that way, and it will thicken a lot faster. You won't have to sit there and wait for it. And the sauce, turn it up a little bit more. The sauce is starting to take shape now, and that's what you want. It's not right now. You can see by here, right here, it's pretty thin, but in a minute it'll be thick. Stir that up very well.
Well, we have some great scents in here right now. Great smells. The vegetables and now the chicken stock in there, the butter.
Right. Well, if you don't have chicken stock, you can use chicken granules, a chicken bouillon cube, or canned broth. Chicken broth, and just use the same amount as you would. When you have the granules, you'll want to add maybe a teaspoon to a cup of water. So you don't have to take the time to make stock, or if you don't have any stock handy, it's not a problem. You can just use the broth or the granules and save yourself a little bit of money and time there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now the sauce is starting to thicken here.
Oh,
you see it's very thick now.
Yep.
And once this boils, you're going to want to turn the heat down, and you can hear it. You want to turn the heat down, and you're going to add, again, half a cup to 1 cup of half and half cream. And you can use regular half and half cream, or you can use milk. But the half and half cream gives it a better flavor because of the fat content, and it gives it a little better thickness. And that's really, it's not mandatory, but it really helps to have the half and half. If you don't have any half and half, you can use regular milk. So you stir that up, and you don't want that to boil. You want it to simmer, though.
Okay.
And once it simmers, make sure that the heat is on very low. And it's going to thicken up a little bit too, just like the sauce. Again, once I added that, it became runny. And when I stir it and it heats up, it'll become thickening.
Now, obviously, in this step, there's several steps involved here. You can't walk away. I mean, if somebody calls you on the phone, you're going to have to say, "I'm sorry, but I'm a little busy right now. I'll call you back." You can't leave that on the stove.
Right. This is something, once you have these steps done, you can let it go on a low heat, and it won't matter if you walk away from it for a little bit. It's best to stir it at first, though, to get it thicker. I'll turn my heat up just a little bit so I don't take too much time on this. All right. Now what you're going to want to do after you have this simmered, you're going to go and you're going to get yourself 3/4 of a teaspoon of paprika.
Mm-hmm.
And what that's going to do is going to give it a nice brown color. And the brown color is really what, and it's also going to give a little earthy flavor, but the brown color is really what you're using it for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very nice. It makes the sauce more attractive and all around just a better looking sauce. Okay, now my sauce is starting to, it's almost ready to simmer, so I'm going to get my paprika in there. Add it on, stir it up really well. Make sure there's no lumps because spices have a way of doing that in liquid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it smells good. Mm.
Yeah. It's wonderful smelling. When it's all done, it's a wonderful taste.
Oh, gotta be.
Most things with a wonderful smell give a wonderful
Yes,
taste.
absolutely.
Now, I will say this has sort of a high fat content because of the butter and the half and half cream, but if you use margarine or milk in place of those, you can lose a little on the fat, but I'd say that the flavor is more important, and if you use a lot of vegetables instead of as much chicken, you can go a little on either way, extra or less. If you don't, and you can cut out the chicken altogether if you don't like meat. And it altogether, it's easy to go back and forth. You don't have to worry about losing flavor or serving size, because if you go with a pound of vegetables instead of a pound of meat in place, then you don't lose anything. It's very easy. Now my sauce is fairly thick now.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it cook just a little bit longer. It's on the verge of simmering. Turn it up just a bit. All right. And now it's starting to simmer, so I'm going to turn it down to medium-low. And I'm going to very carefully add my vegetables so I don't get any splatters here. All right.
That's why you're using that big pan, too.
Yes, that's another reason. So it is kind of a little better to use a larger pan so you avoid burning yourself. All right. Make sure you use hot pads because you don't want to burn yourself.
Absolutely.
You might not think with such a big pan that the hot pads are going to be needed, because you'll think, oh, the handle, but it gets hot, very hot. And this is stainless steel, so you don't always know where the hot spots are going to be. It's better if you have an aluminum or a pot with a copper coating or a copper inlay on the bottom. You have a better distribution of heat, but the stainless steel, as long as you keep an eye on it, isn't going to burn your recipe or anything.
Now, how long do you need the chicken and the vegetables in there?
Once you put the chicken and the vegetables in, it really is, since the chicken and the vegetables are already cooked, it's really just to heat it up, and you're going to want to stir it in so it mingles the flavors again, and it'll cook into the chicken. And what you'll do is you'll let this sit. You'll turn it down to about low, and you'll let it sit for a little while, cook. If you want to, you can put a lid on it, and so it doesn't reduce, but really the reducing is a good thing in this recipe. And once again, you don't have to add salt if you don't want to at the beginning with the chicken. If you want to wait how it tastes, you might not need salt in the end, and you can season it afterwards.
Okay. Tim, we're just about time for a break. Is this a good time for a break?
This is a very good time.
Okay. And when we come back, you will show how to serve this, which is just about as important as the preparation, true?
Definitely. The beauty of the plate is almost as important as the taste.
Okay. Stay with us. We are going to take a time out, and then we'll come back, and Tim Fowler we'll have the finished product when we continue Feasting from 47, brought to you by Whirlpool.
This portion of It's About You is brought to you by The Heritage, a unique senior community.
Heritage offers a unique retirement community for your golden years. Enjoy all the comforts of your own home with the security and convenience that only the Heritage can offer. Friendly and professional staff to provide the services you need. Daily activities planned to enrich your life. Locally owned and operated with a commitment to the community. We invite you to call or stop in for a tour. Be part of our great family at The Heritage, a unique retirement community.
You know, Mercury Tracer offers 30 standard features and a very affordable price. So why pay more and get less?
Just look at the value Tracer gives you. Air conditioning, dual airbags, 30 standard features in all, for more than $2,700 less than Corolla DX, over $1,800 less than Sentra E, and more than $1,100 less than Civic DX. Why pay more and get less?
So see Mercury Tracer at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Solid Amish oak. Solid Amish oak. Solid Amish oak. Okay. Now, where do we find it?
Amish Oak Gallery, located in the Woodland Mall in Bowling Green. Featuring handcrafted solid oak furniture built by the Amish for its quality and beauty.
Well, there you see excellent cuisine, beautifully prepared. And Tim Fowler is here. Chicken Sauté Supreme. Tim, talk about the preparation you went through to make that look so beautiful.
All right, now what I've done is I've served this over rice. And you can serve it over noodles, and egg noodles make a beautiful flavor complement. Now, what I've done with the garnish here is all I've done is I've taken an orange and sliced a thin slice off the orange. Make sure that you don't cut any holes in it. I've done that, so I've already broken that rule. But you slice through the center of it. You do the same with a lemon and a lime. And I'll do that here for you. Make sure they're thin slices, though. And if you can, try to cut from the center of the orange, lemon, or lime, if that's at all possible. All right. And then you just take these, and you can see there are 3 different sizes. So you take the small one and put it on the outside, and the medium in the middle, and you twist it and stick a little leaf of romaine lettuce underneath there. And you have a beautiful garnish. It's not very difficult to do. You can do it either direction. Look, and either way you look at it, it's beautiful. It's green, the yellow and the orange go together pretty well. And you can even eat it because it's the lime and the lemon and the orange.
Absolutely. Speaking of eating, can I try this?
Of course.
This looks so delicious. It smells so wonderful. Now, you are the president of the district hero. Is that true?
Correct.
Did I get that correct? Okay.
And the city executive council chapter and my own local chapter of my class.
And in March, the culinary competition with your culinary team.
Correct.
Good.
We're going to go to competition with it. And I'm kind of hoping they have this recipe there because I practice it so often.
So you could really get that recipe when you walk in.
It's possible. It's not likely, but it's possible.
Oh, that is delicious. I can't stop eating. Go right ahead. And, who are the other 2 members of the team?
All right. One's name is Beth Stife, and she is, I believe, a junior. And then there is Kevin Dowdy, and he is a senior this year.
Okay. Tim, you did a great job, not only of cooking, but of telling us what you were doing. And, of course, the recipe will be available. Keep us up to date on how things are going at Millstream, and particularly with the FHA Hero Program, will you?
Sure thing.
Thanks for stopping.
Thanks for having me.
Great job. Tim Fowler. Again, the recipe's available at Great Scott, at Ohio Power, and at TV 47. And, of course, this has been Feasting from 47, brought to you by your good friends at Whirlpool.